You are being held by your hands and feet. The wind cuts through the mountain air as your body swings forward, then back. Below you, 3 iron spears wait, their tips pointing directly at your chest. In 3 seconds, you will be thrown. If you die, you will be honored as a hero. But if you survive, that is when the nightmare begins. The ancient Greeks were terrified of death. To them, the afterlife was a place of shadows, silence, and regret. But to their northern neighbors, the Thracians, death was not a tragedy. It was a release. They were said to weep when a child was born and celebrate when a man died, because they believed something no other people dared to believe. They believed they were immortal, not symbolically, not metaphorically, literally. They believed death was not the end, only a passage, but immortality, they believed, came at a cost. That is how the Greeks described it. But the ritual itself was far more specific. Every 5 years, the tribe sent a message to their god. Requests for rain, for victory, for fertile fields and survival. And the only way to deliver that message was a human soul. This was not described as an execution. It was described as a delivery. A single messenger was chosen by lot. No crime, no dishonor, no resistance. He was given the tribe's needs, spoken aloud so there would be no mistake. The spears were raised. The crowd fell silent. Momentum built, and then he was thrown. Here is the detail that breaks the modern mind. We assume the goal was survival. But in this cult, survival was failure. The messenger was not meant to endure pain. He was meant to disappear. If the spears pierced the heart and death was instant, the tribe erupted in celebration. The message was delivered. The god was listening. But if the spears missed their mark, if the body struck the earth still breathing, still screaming, then something had gone terribly wrong. This man was not spared. He was rejected. Rejected by the god. Rejected by the tribe, dragged away in shame. Branded a wicked man, left to die alone. And another messenger was chosen immediately. In this world, the cruelest fate was not death. It was being ignored by the divine. But who exactly was receiving these messages? Everything we know about Zalmoxis comes from outsiders, Greek writers, Greek skeptics, Greek enemies, and that matters, because they were trying to describe a belief system that disturbed them. According to Herodotus, Zalmoxis may not have been a god at all. Greek tradition claimed he had once been a slave to the philosopher Pythagoras, a man who learned astronomy, logic, and the power of persuasion. But even Herodotus hesitates. He admits the timeline doesn't quite fit. Zalmoxis, he says, may have lived generations earlier, which raises a more unsettling possibility. That the story was never meant to be accurate, it was meant to be believable. Legend says, Zalmoxis built an underground chamber and sealed himself inside it. Then he vanished. For 1 year, the Thracians waited. For 2, they mourned. By the 3rd, they were certain their prophet was dead. And then, in the 4th year, he returned, alive. Whether this was deception, devotion, or something else entirely no longer mattered. Because from that moment on, the idea of death had cracked. Did Zalmoxis steal these ideas from the Greeks? Or did the Greeks steal them from him? We will never know. But belief had already done its work. This belief reshaped everything. When storms rolled across the mountains, other men hid. The Thracians ran outside and fired arrows into the sky, threatening the clouds themselves. They recognized no master, not on earth, not in the heavens. Because when you truly believe death is just a doorway, fear loses its grip. Beliefs like this don't stay locked in ritual. They shape how warriors fight, how kings rule, how a culture looks at the world without blinking, and that belief eventually takes a face. We found his tomb. We found his gold. But more unsettling than either, we found his face. eyes made of alabaster and glass, set carefully into bronze, staring forward with the calm of a man who did not fear the end. 2,000 years later, he is still looking back at us, not pleading, not warning, watching. If you want to look directly into the gaze of a culture that believed it could not truly die, meet the Bronze King, Seuthes III. It is one of the most extraordinary discoveries ever made. I'll see you there.